but they will be but they will be when they come and ask for cement, then they will ask for bars, then they will ask for binding wire, then they will ask for bars, binding wire, iron sheets, all these other things surrounding all these iron sheets which are surrounding cement. When someone comes to buy paint, then they will be buying these other things that might surround paint, like sandpaper, brushes, roller brushes. They would think of even the different things that surround the whole entire painting structure. So if you have a hardware, first of all, you need to know whether you're located in a place which is on the road towards an area where there is a lot of development. If you have a hardware, check the location. So if you say Big V, you say, sir, I have very little capital in the hardware. Look for where the hardware is located. You know it is located. The road takes people to a developing place where they are still building. So they will want all these things every time they pass you by the road. So look out for places which are still developing. Places which are still developing, get a hardware on the road. As they go past, they will know, hey, we can buy cement, we can buy bars, we can buy iron sheets, we can buy paint. Okay, EJ is saying I earn 1 million per week. What can I invest to elevate my earnings or interest? What can you do to invest? What can you invest in to elevate my earnings or interests? When you say you earn 1 million per week, then I would wish to know what is giving you the 1 million per week. Is it what is giving you the 1 million per week? Is it a job? Is it a business? Let's try to ask questions that actually you ask a question. I do not know you guys. I do not know why you do not ask me well elaborated questions. I do not know you. Ask a well elaborated question such that I can give you an answer. I'm not here to say yes or no, yes or no. I want to read the question, think about it, share my idea. So if your question is not elaborated, you will not gain from me. So I want to know what is giving the 1 million per week. You could find the 1 million per week is from a business which actually you have to plow back the profits. But I do not know where the 1 million per week is coming from. So you need to differentiate. Are you an employee or you already running a business? EJ, I need you to do some more elaborations. All right, let's do some more sharing. I see only 6 shares. How? Very few hearts. Very few hearts. How can we be in 5K hearts? We have more than 200 people who are watching. Do the double tap, do the shares. How can you not share this? You're having it for free. Let your friends also have it for free. Let me go to this is YouTube. Hi, you look very handsome. I'm only 17 years old. When I grow up, I'll come to see you one day, I promise. Okay. Thank you, Nakoro Rose. Hi, good evening, Professor Ayebare Agnes. Nice to see you. Paulina Doyo said hi. Okay, people on YouTube. I haven't seen any question from there. Mr. Dreams is saying, greetings, boss. Would you advise me to sell my plot to add capital in my running business? That's a very great question. That's a very great question. Now, the question before I answer is, How is your business lacking capital? Because I want you people to get me very well. When you run a business, it's very possible for you to think that it just needs capital. Yet you might lack systems in the business. So every time you have a business and you just plow in capital, you might be having employees who are cheating your business. So everything you bring is being taken away. So, Mr. Dreams, I would wish to know, whereas it's a good thing to sell the plot to add capital in the business, I want to know, how much is that plot? How much money do you expect from the plot? What is the worth of your business? Is the business struggling with capital, or struggling with customers, struggling with location, struggling with employees? Let's not just be in the thought process of picking money and adding into the business. It's like getting water and adding into a jerry can which is full of leakages. The money will just die. So, Mr. Dreams, throw more light on your question such that we deliberate. Mama's Pride Baby Collection. What factors can you consider before setting up a kids shop? That is a very, very nice question. Mama's Pride Baby Collection. What factors can you consider before setting up a kids shop? I think before setting up a kids shop, you want to consider, what are you supplying to a particular kid? If I were to set up a kids shop, I may have to ask myself, do I bring kids shoes? Do I bring kids clothes? Do I bring kids food stuffs? Do I bring kids toys? Do you get the idea? So there is a whole array of things you can do for kids, but you need to know, is it shoes? Is it clothes? Is it foodstuffs? Is it toys? Or is it this thing? For example, I've seen people who only deal in pampers and wipes. Pampers and wipes. Just make sure what you have, you won't sit with it in the shop. But also you need to know, if you run a kids shop, your customers are not kids. Your customers are parents to the kids. So the question is, where you're setting up the kids shop, where are, are you to get access to the parents? Will you walk to the schools, to the kindergartens, and wait outside the gate and hand over a flyer to every parent that drops off a kid? That's a strategy to market, to throw your business in the faces. Are your customers? How can you access the parents? So, are you going to be opposite hospitals? Are you going to be, if you're not opposite hospitals, then you will walk to the hospitals. If you're not next to schools, then you have to go to those schools. There you will be selling one.
Good. Because it helps you know what clothes to have in the market. For example, it's the rainy season, overalls are the thing.
Yeah. So I have been advised by a mother here who happens to spend a lot of money on kids, and she has also mentioned that you need to also be reading the seasons, because every parent is trying to buy warm clothing for the kids. So you might look at the season. Is it rainy? Is it cold? And then you bring in stock according to what you choose. So if you're into shoes, then it means you're buying boots. If you're into clothes, it means you're buying coats, overall jackets, and all that, capes, scarves, and all that. If you're into a pharmacy and it's a season, you are buying syrups. I do not know how many times I buy syrups at my home. But every time I'm coming, they say, you come back with a cough syrup. Next day, you come back with a flu syrup. The other day, you come back with, you call them these things they crunch on. You come back with gummies. So you need to know. Okay. Did I get Ford's question again, or did I skip it? Make sure you pick your question and you plug it back again if I have skipped it, because now I'm on eyes. Let me see. Isaac Chimbugwe, do you think education is a necessity in one's financial growth, or even a senior 3 dropout can become rich? So money has no religion, money has no race, money has no education background, money has no race, no religion, no political party, no education background, no age, no gender, no sex. Money doesn't know those things. Money just wants to see your habits. Are you saving? Are you investing? Do you inquire from people who are teaching? Are you trying to add more knowledge? When you gather more knowledge, are you applying? Remember, and I want you to take it from me, Isaac Chimbugwe, anything that will make you successful, if you look at it, it will be 80% habits and 20% knowledge. So when we go to education, personally, like, I have now 4 degrees and one postgraduate diploma in legal practice, which is about to end, my LDC. But for me, I'm adding on to the knowledge and education, not for the money. It's because I want to gather all the knowledge. I've built my brand as le professeur. Because I'm le professeur, the teacher, there is no way a teacher can be knowing very little. I want to sit here when I know numbers, when I know IT, when I know technology, when I know security. Now I know the law. So that's why I'm into this education thing. Otherwise, my dad didn't join the university. Must have stopped in senior 6. But he's the wisest I know. And he has, I won't tell you what he has, but he has done well for himself. All right, let's continue. Professor, do I need to buy life insurance if I have the capacity? If it's your choice, but remember, life insurance, that a contingent contract, a contract that will happen after the event happens. So you know that when you buy life insurance, you do not access the money till you die. And the money goes to the beneficiaries. So if you're praying for God to make you last longer, and God gives you 80 years, then for all that time you're going to pay premium. If you're now 30 years, you're going to pay premium for a longer period. But whereas I agree that it's always good we all do not know what will happen tomorrow. That's in Ecclesiastes 8:7. Ecclesiastes 8:7. Let me open it and read it for you loud. Ecclesiastes 8:7. For he does not know what will happen, so who can tell him when it will occur? We are not sure when death will happen, when the accident will happen. It's usually good that if you have not built the protection yourself, then you hand over the protection. Because when we give money to the insurance, we are basically handing over what we would have done ourselves. If I put money on my account and I ask my bank, I put it in my will that when I die, this is money to be given to my kids and wife. When they execute of the will, sees that, they will pick money from the bank and come and hand it over. You get? But because we do not have a habit of putting money aside with a goal, you will put money aside and then start picking it. Yet that money you put it aside to help these people when you are gone. So ask yourself, can you be your own insurance? Do you have the habit? Do you have the zeal, the oomph, the courage to be your own insurance? Personally, I'm my own insurance. I buy land, I put money in trusts, I put money in the bank, I put money all over. But the goal is that that money should come and help my wife and kids and relatives. So I do not need to go to the insurance. But me, I have savings habit, investments habits, and a discipline. You, if you do not, then your answer is a yes. That you would go for life insurance if you have a capacity. Okay. Degrat Zaidi says, I'm in UAE and I earn 1 million per month. If you're in a country that is under attack, I commiserate with you if you've lost anyone. But let me take this question. I'm in UAE and I earn 1 million per month, and I need you to tell me what is the best thing I can invest in Uganda. What's the best thing you can invest in Uganda? Clearly, investing 1 million if you earn 1 million per month, I will ask you another question, Degrat Zaid. How much can you put aside for investment? Because when you say 1 million per month, I cannot tell whether you spend the whole entire million, or you spend half of it, or you spend three quarters of it. So you have to say that I earn 1 million per month and I am able to save this amount. Then I guide accordingly. But since you're not sharing, I do not see shares, I do not see double tapping. I won't be coming back to TikTok today until the shares go past 100. So I've now crossed over to my friends who love to share and do everything that promotes the video on YouTube. Do you think motor vehicle spare parts will still be profitable business in the next 5 years? Motor vehicle spare parts will still be business in the next 30 years. Don't give it 5, please. 30 years. We are still buying very old cars. In the whole entire country, I have seen only one place where we can charge electrical cars. That place near, I think it's on Ambassador House. So in the next 5 years, not 5, vehicle spare parts will still be profitable. I've given them another 30 years. Actually, I can even say 40. Because we buy old cars. As a country, Uganda, we still import a car which was driven in China in 2005. A car that was made in Japan in 2005 is a new car in Uganda today. But 2005 is 21 years ago. You get the idea. So I realized that people on TikTok have moved the shares to 31, but I said I won't be answering any more questions till you reach 100 shares. This is free information. What is so hard to share? Have you overshared reckless things where people have branded you as a person who can't share material, such that now when you share things which are knowledgeable, you will shock the world? You have a feeling if you shared this material, people will start doubting you. They will think you are no longer you're no longer Compost Mentis. All right, I'm still on YouTube. Nsubuga Alex. Ayebare Agnes. Hi, Professor. How and where can I start saving for my 5-year-old child? Okay, what do you, how and where can I start saving for my 5-year-old child? If you went to the different financial institutions, they would want you to save an amount that is regular. I have seen financial institutions which ask people to save an amount that is regular, such that it reaches a time when you're not earning and it becomes a burden or a pain. So I would think not to put yourself on pressure. Start with a bank. Start with a bank and see how much can you put for your child this year. And then you also check yourself. Were you regular? Were you able to save something for your child? But also, don't forget, what we mean by saving is when we put money aside with a goal. So when you say you want to save for your 5-year-old child, what do you want the money to do? Is it for fees? Is it for medical? Or is it for birthday party and celebrations for your kid? What's the goal? In any case, if it's for fees, then we will start knowing how much is fees, such that we jump into it. Okay, Supuga Alex is saying, another question, do you think, I answered that. Bidio Murirwe Paul. Hi, Professor. I have 10 million. I need to go in farming, tomatoes and passion fruit. I'll be finishing my contract in May this year in UAE. Is it okay? No. When you get your 10 million, I do not want you to go into farming, the digging and the planting and the weeding and the harvesting and the packaging and the transporting and the marketing and the selling. With 10 million, come to Uganda. First pick, how much? Like 50,000. I want you to pick 100,000 from the 10 million and go to a minimum of 5 markets that buy tomatoes and passion fruit. 5 markets. I want you to have a survey and information collected from Nakawa market, from Kalere market, from Owino market, from Chibuye market. Which other market is there? Nakasero market. So you go to Chibuye, Kalere, Nakawa, Nakasero. 5 markets that sell. Now, when you go to the markets, you look for the sellers of tomatoes. Get to know which are the fastest moving types of tomatoes. Where are they coming from? How much are they selling? How many tomatoes are in the box? First gather information. I've told you, 10 million, first remove 50K. When you gather all this information, you will find that you will need a minimum of 1 million to enter that business. Put the 9 million aside. In all these people you've asked these questions, you might find that one of them is your customer who is buying from you. And then you follow John 14:6. John 14:6. John chapter 14. John chapter 14. John chapter 14. TikTok, I see now you've shared 55 times, but I said I won't be taking any more question until you share up to 100. You know me, I'm that principled. because this is free. We must share it. We must double tap. We must double tap. We must share it. We must let people know that we are serious here. This is not a live where we shall be saying things that are obscene or do no. This is for wealth. Newton Buteraba is here to teach you wealth, money, finances, such that you're better. So if me, I can leave my sleep and come to teach, I'm sharing. You, why wouldn't you share? Okay, John 14:6 says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So when you get that 1 million, when you get 1 million of the 10 million, then you follow John 14:6 and you say you're the way, the truth, and the life. No one accesses very nice tomatoes and passion fruit unless through you. No one accesses very nice tomatoes, very nice passion fruit unless through you. So you realize that if 1 million comes in, 1 million will suffer. You might actually even lose the whole entire 1 million because they may not pay, because of this, you may struggle with the transport, because it's perishable, because of very many different things. The transport, the people, the supplier, the person you've supplied has not paid. Now, when you come in with the next, remember you have 9 million on the side. You've only used one. Now, when you come back with another 1 million, here you're now wiser. Friends on TikTok, I see now you've reached 81 shares, 19 more shares to go before I come back to you. So, friends on YouTube, Professor, is the capital market vehicles the now and future for Uganda against land buying? Is it? I had my brother was Kakande Alex when he had I think it was his life when he says when he said that capital markets are the future. I think anywhere you go, okay, this is the challenge, and I want you to see it in perspective. Now I'm speaking as a lawyer. If we have capital markets, and particularly companies which float shares for people to buy, you realize that so far, most of the companies we have which are actually trying to give people some value when they buy shares are multinationals. You talk about companies like Stanbic, you talk about companies like MTN, you talk about companies, I think is Airtel there, you talk about companies. So think about a company like Bank of Baroda, which is a profitable bank. But when it came, it only floated 20% of its whole entire value. So it retained 80, and on the Ugandan stock market, it only gave 20%. So you realize that is one arm. Now, the other arm is these other companies in Uganda which are still growing will have to be talked to have their mindsets change, to realize that going public is one of the ways to gather capital for a company. But in Uganda, you find a company is 30 years and it is big, but it's still the founders running it privately. So I would say that capital, everything you want to think about will always happen in the future, but the earning, the activity will be slow because Ugandans still believe in running their things privately. Even you look at Ugandans, even when they become an investment club, you will share a plot of land where you realize that if you actually risked, you would actually become wealthier as a group when you bring money to buy a building, to buy a plot of land, to buy anything. But people are still holding their cards to their chest. So, whereas it is true that capital market vehicles will be for the future, but none of us can depict the future. That's the verse I told you. The government can, the government currently is not, let me give you an example. The government currently is not taxing the money we earn from unit trusts. When a unit trust tells you that you've earned 1 million, the government does not tax it. That's 1 million for you. But there was a time the government wanted to tax unit trusts. What that meant was we were no longer now going to put money in unit trusts. And the unit trust, it's regulated by a capital market. So it is a vehicle that is regulated by the capital market. So you need to put into perspective that there are very many factors that can determine the future. Government policy, the habit of entrepreneurs in the country, also the habit of the investors. When investors realize that the country is no longer secure, the country has a court system that does not help them recover their money in time when they bring commercial cases, they won't be very active in capital market vehicles, and yet they are the ones which really make it run up and down. So I think that has answered your question. I will continue to farm mindset change. Which of the three money lessons is someone who buys 20 to 25 year treasury bonds? I think which of the three money lessons? The first money lesson is making money. The second is growing money. The third is keeping money. I think if you buy a 20 to 25 year treasury bond, if it exists anyway, you would be growing the money. So that puts you in the second money lesson. But however, you would need to know how it would work out with the things like inflation and how much you can really put aside for investment. All right, I see 101 shares on 101 shares on TikTok, so I'm back to you guys. A Patu is asking, what advice can you give a young man living in America doing a 9 to 5 time job? So, if you are in the US and you're doing a 9 to 5 full-time job, I would first of all ask you, have you done any course? Because if you're doing a 9 to 5 job, is it a professional course? Is it something you would, I need to know, Epatu, are you able to access money to upgrade your studies? Because in the US and in Europe, the higher the studies, the higher the qualification, the higher the 9 to 5 job will pay. So if you have elevated in studies and qualification, then it means your 9 to 5 would be bringing in some money, which gives you a higher propensity to save. But the advice I can give you before I even know your qualification, know how much you earn, you must make sure you do not tap into the things that will put you in debt. If you're in a country like US, if you're in a country like Europe, these are countries where the system has already been designed that where you stay, you will have a mortgage, which is a debt. What you will drive, you will have a car on a loan. What you study, on a loan. What phone you will hold, on a loan. The TV and the chairs you will have, on the loan. So Everything has been put on credit. Now you need to be very, very sharp such that you do not go into the debt trap. You avoid going into debt, especially on things that do not bring money. Just because you qualify for a brand new car doesn't mean you should get one. Look through an array of cars and ask yourself, do I want to solve a transport problem or a status problem? First solve a transport problem and get a car which you know it rarely breaks down, and it also is a very it's a very good consumer when it comes to fuel. Solve the transport problem, then move. Live in an apartment. If you can even live in one room. You're a young man living in America. Why are you living in a 3-bedroomed house? Why are you living in a 2-bedroomed house? You need a studio. You need a studio whereby you see your kitchen, you see your bathroom, you see your kitchen, you see your bathroom, you see your bed. In any case, you have a 9 to 5. You're never there. So I've realized that people, when they are young, they access these houses. They can't handle the mortgage. They get a very nice car. They can't handle the car. Then they have credit cards and all that. The debt trap. So I usually share my number 0706 582 868. I have clients in 90 countries. So you can get more advice on that number on WhatsApp. But this is paid advice where I get deeper into your situation to give you customized approaches. All right, as I continue, I'm on TikTok looking for questions. King at 2023 says, Newton, I need your support. What percentage should be put in solid and liquid assets? What percentage should be put in solid and liquid assets? Usually it's a balance. What is that? I will pay, and how I wish you add us another workshop. So Big Daddy, I have a masterclass coming up on 11th April. Make sure on 11th April you're part of the masterclass. So Mark K says, what percentage should be put in solid and liquid assets? It is always going to depend, but make sure you are balanced in the way you invest in solid and liquid. Don't over solidify at the expense of liquid. Don't over liquefy at the expense of solid. You get, so it always depends. It always depends. So when you have, let's say, you can run a 50-50, you can run a 60-40. 60 solid, 40 liquid, or 50 solid, 50 liquid. When you see them move together, that way you will always be on the other, or on a winning side at every angle. But when you move and you have solid 80% and liquid 20, then trouble. Okay, I have 20 million Ugandan shillings and I have passion in farming, but I need a fast return business idea. Kindly advise. When you say you have a passion in farming, how can you be a farmer and you need fast return business? Which crop has fast return? Maize, 4 months. Matoke, 2 years. What do you want to farm that has fast return? I do not think farmers have the mindset of fast return. If you want fast return, then you're not going to plant and wait to grow. So, okay. What are the requirements for joining a masterclass? The masterclass will be charged at 100,000. The masterclass will be charged at 100,000, and it's on 11th April. 100,000, 11th April. 100,000, 11th April. 100,000, 11th April. That's early bird. The 100,000 only stop for March. The moment we enter April and you haven't paid, it's 150. Okay, Mr. Newton, I have 50 million. Can I buy a finished house to put my wife in or start up shops for business? At any one moment, I want to promise you and tell you that shops, when you start up a shop for business, I also wouldn't encourage you to start with all the 50 million. Look for a very good location if you want to start a shop. But the question is, who will full support? Who will be in this shop? Because you're asking, can I buy a finished house to put my wife or start up shops for business? So the question is, are you the one to be in the shop? Because if you're not the one to be in the shop and you just bring 50 million and you say, "Lo, professor said we start up shops," the money will just leak. So first ask yourself whether you're the one to run the shop. And if you're the one to run the shop, look for a good location, look for moving items such that every day you are making some money. Every day you're making some money. Every day you're making some money in sales. But the reason I would go for business first before getting any house, it's because once a business makes it, which is usually 2, 3, 4 years, once a business makes it, a business, when successful, can buy 5 houses. Yet that one house can't buy another house. And that one house can't start another business. But when a business becomes successful, it can buy 10 houses. It can start even another business. The answer to your question also is in Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24:27. Proverbs 24:27. Proverbs 24:27. What is the wisest man saying? Proverbs 24:27. Proverbs 24:27. Prepare your outside work. Make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward, build your house. Did you hear that, children of God? Prepare your outside work. Make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward, build your house. This knowledge is over 5,000 years old, and they're telling us we first organize business and we organize our source of income, our living, we make sure we are earning a living, and then we build a house. Okay. So King is saying, then which first return business can I invest in with my 20 million? No, you do not need the 20 million. Do not put 20 million forward, that what can I invest in with my 20 million? No. You do not put the 20 million forward. If you want to invest into anything, go and look out for a need. Don't look for what you think will bring in money first. Go and solve a need. When you solve a need, you might find that the need even needs 2 million. You can go at a village and they have electricity, but they lack water. And then you hire these tanks which have water. You will find tanka chameka echamazi. You might find that you can actually hire that whole tank which carries water, and you bring water into this estate which lacks water. You know, people build houses and they have reservoir tanks. You could find that their problem is water. Ha, nengazi bwanonga simulaba. Brian, nsanyuse nnyo kulaba. Brian, nice to see you.
It costs 300k, the tank of water.
Aha. So do you realize that a tank of the friends are mentioning here that a tank costs 300k? You could find that a place where you're staying, water is the problem. So you do not front 20 million. Front solution. You come, you solve a problem. If you realize that the problem is their water, you hire a tank. The tank comes and goes on serving people water while you're collecting. So a tank costs 300k. You might find that you have a plot in an estate, and that plot you build and you construct tanks. So the car comes, you either can dig a well, dig a borehole in your place, or you even build tanks and you fill them with water and you solve the water problem. Solve a problem. You might go in a place and they do not have a kindergarten. I told you when I went to give a speech at this university where I was honored to go, Nkumba University, when I went to give a commencement speech, I had to research about Nkumba University, and I was so amazed that Nkumba University started as a kindergarten. Can you believe? They were two friends who used to own a shop on Entebbe Road, and those friends used to be in their shop together. That's why they used to call them Abaita Ababili. Did you even know this? For you, when you are going to Entebbe, you hear Abaita Ababili. Those used to be very two good friends who used to own a shop. So as they were used, when they would be in their shop, they used now to exchange on who takes kids to a school somewhere far away, kindergarten, and they say this can't go on. So they called up all their friends and they made a meeting, and the very first kindergarten started where you see Nkumba University today. It was a kindergarten that became a primary, that became, I think, a secondary. It grew into a technical, and it became a university. The need. Don't front money. When you front money, it will disappear. But when you front needs solutions. Think about a man like me who came back to Uganda, and I realized that Ugandans were struggling with transferring titles into their names. And I brought a service that transfers a title under 30 days, making me the only Ugandan who transfers titles under 30 days. The only Ugandan who has never had any fight when it comes to transferring title. Need solution. And what did I need? I needed just to know all the people in the different lands office. So when I see a title is in Mukono, I have my people. Title is in Impiji, I have my people. Title is in Ruweru, I have my people. Title in Wachiso, I have my people. Title in Kampala, I have my people. So I have a network of people in lands office. That's why my title transfer is under 30 days. I solve a problem. And after transferring the title, I was the first Ugandan to put titles on DHL to reach people all over the world. You buy land, you say you are in Canada, you just give the address. I sell you the land. transfer, send. So, okay. Professor, please, I need some knowledge. How can I franchise or subdeal KFC or working with it? In which country are you, Big Daddy? Because KFC has already handed over its franchise to, I think, are they Cuckoo Foods? The people who used to be called Cuckoo Foods. Brian, nice to meet you. Try calling me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. Lutanko Imran Chigongo, how are you, my brother? My learned friend. Professor leading business Egenda Kunzita. I'm 1 year in. Lending business is not an easy business. Innocent. If I can buy LFK for transport materials, can it work? LF to transport materials. You have to make sure when you're going to buy that LFK, ELF car, when you're going to buy it, you go with a mechanic who is sharp and super and standard. Don't just go as you, innocent, to buy the car because you see it. Because the business of transport, it will make you money if you're the one driving. That's for starters. It will make you more money if you're the one driving. That's for starters. But most importantly, when the vehicle does not break down. When you buy that vehicle and it looks like it's good, but it has problems with its engine, it has problems with its heating system, it has problems with fuel pumps, then you'll be instead a customer for the garage. Now, I rarely do this, but I want to do it. I want to give you a chance to send a request and you join as a guest and you ask me a question. Now I've opened the gate, so you can send me I want you to send me an invite and you ask a question. But that will come in I think top of the hour. When it reaches 11 p.m. Ugandan time, I'll be accepting invites, requests. So Infinity is saying, Mr. Professor, how much capital do I need to start growing maize or green pepper for the start? To be honest, some of these things you're going to have to become investors who really do research. Because number one, I do not know, Mr. Infinity, whether you have the land whereby you will have to purchase the land, or you will have to either purchase the land or hire. Those are two things. Now, when you say capital to grow maize, I do not know the acreage. I do not know the type of maize seed you're going to plant. You get the idea. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is, who do you want to sell the maize to? The people you will go to sell maize to are looking for dry maize, low moisture content. So why don't you look for people who have dry maize? When I was still the private sector partnerships manager for Chemonix /USAID, I used to deal with all the farmers. I have dealt with all the farmers in the country. So I know the biggest buyers for maize and grain. I've moved all over the country to Uganda to see them, because I was linking them to the young people who were also trying to come up in the maize field. But what I realized is, it's better off when you get your cash and you look for people who already have the land and have grown. You buy from them and sell. Okay. Mr. Professor, how much capital do I need to start growing maize? I've tried to guide. Triple J Gift Shop Mbale. Professor, I need some advice. I opened up a business, but it's very far in terms of monitoring. Okay. When you say it's very far in terms of monitoring, what kind of business is it? Triple J Gift Shop. Is it the gift shop? If it's very far in terms of monitoring, are you trying to say that you spend a lot of money in that back and forth you go to monitor? Also, where did you open the business? Is it now that you know that the problem is it's distance for monitoring purposes? Can we bring it closer? Why has it been so hard to bring it closer? You can tell me. So someone is telling me at Benzman, so far you're moving good, brother. How can we partner? I need to know the business you're into before. Talk about getting a loan car business like Uber. The question is, are you the one to drive the Uber? If you're the one to drive the Uber, then it means there won't be excuses. Usually the people who drive Uber, I see them giving 200K per week. But it's usually better when you want to drive and you get a fuel efficient vehicle and you start hustling. With 20 million, can I start motor vehicle spare parts or piggery farm? For me, by the way, people who are asking me which kind of business to start, Coach Samuel Ibanda has given an answer. He has said the one of maize should explore the value chain. The further you are from the soil, the more money. I love that. Thank you, Coach Samuel. So Omotu is saying 20 million, can I start a motor vehicle spare parts or piggery farm? It is going to depend. Which of those two businesses have you ever done before? Have you dealt in were you once an employee in a spare shop that you got to know how spare work runs? Because if you do not know how spare runs, then it means you are not going to bring spare parts which will be bought. Spare parts are very technical. You might be in a shop and it's the mechanics who understand your products, and you buy a lot of products and you do not know what they are used for. You do not know where they are the parts that usually break down the most. So what is inspiring you about motor vehicle? Were you once an employee in a motor vehicle shop? Do you have an uncle? Do you have an auntie? Do you have a friend who has done? Why have you mentioned motor vehicle? Why have you mentioned piggery? Have you ever seen someone with a piggery who impressed you? Did you have a friend who had a piggery? What is that thing? Whomsoever inspired you, move towards them and gather more knowledge. Move towards them and gather more knowledge. Okay. Ajira Kato. What does it take for someone to have such knowledge and prominent speaker? How are you, my brother Ajira Kato? Ajira Kato shares our content. First of all, Kato, I would like to thank you for sharing a lot of my content and House of Wealth. I told you to get in touch with my team, because the people who share my content, I love them so much, and I usually give back to them. So, Mr. Kato, I'm giving you, which number should I give him? The 787. So, Mr. Kato, I want you to write this number down. Or you could actually send him. You could click on him and send. So, my team is going to contact you, Mr. Kato, to let you know how we give back to the people who have opened up channels to actually share my content, such that you get to work together to better the brand. So when you say what does it take for someone to have such knowledge, the answer is somewhere in Matthew 14. Let me try to check whether I find that answer. Matthew 14, 28 to 31. Where is the book of Matthew, Mark, John, Luke? Matthew 14. Matthew 14, 28. Matthew 14, 28 to 31. Matthew chapter 14, verse 28 to 31. For everyone who wants to be, so Mr. Kato says he finds me very knowledgeable and he knows I'm the #1 speaker of choice in the country. So he wants to know how someone can be like me or even more. The answer is in Matthew 14, verses 28 to 31. I'm going to read them out loud such that I explain them to you for your learning and betterment. Queen Wa Truth, Yahaya invites you to co-host. Is it to co-host? Okay. All right. So no, they're not coming as a guest. They were coming to inviting me to co-host. So, Ajira Kato, I want you to listen to Matthew 14, 18 to 38. Sorry, Matthew 14, 28 to 31. Matthew chapter 14, verses 28 to 31. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. So he said, Come. And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt? And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Now, I want to pick from this narration and teach you the best lesson you will ever get if you want to achieve anything. This story starts when the disciples are in the boat. 12 disciples are in the boat. They see Jesus coming. Peter sees Jesus walking on water and tells Jesus, Lord, if you are the one, also call me to walk on water. It's on record that only 2 people have ever walked on water. One was Jesus, the other was Peter. So the Bible is saying that Peter walked on water. Jesus told Peter, come. So Peter walked on water. Then he looked this side and saw waves. Looked this side and saw the wind was boisterous. He feared that the waves and the winds, they were going to take him. He started crying out and sinking and said, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. And Jesus walked up to him, held him and told him, Yea, of little faith, why have you doubted yourself? Now, that's the narration. This is the lesson. I want you to be very, very sharp when you're picking the lessons. The very first thing that can help you achieve anything anything is called desire. Because you realize there were 12 people in the boat, but only one wanted to walk on water. So it is desire. The 11 will be in the boat. Now you will have the desire to walk on water. So Peter had a desire. So desire is the first thing. Do you want to be a medical doctor? Desire is the first thing. Before you even pick any form of application you want to be a lawyer, desire. You must have the desire you want to be. So I always wanted to be a lawyer. I always wanted to be a commercial lawyer. Desire. I always wanted to be a speaker. You go in all the schools I've been to, from my report card in baby class, the report card used to say Newton is talkative. I was consistent in all my primary school, talkative in class, talkative in class, talkative in class. I never ceased desire. I was an entertainer in primary school. When you go to Gombe, where I did my secondary, I was an entertainer in secondary school. I wanted to be on stage in the face of the people. I flourish better when I see a crowd, so I do not fear people. So in Gombe, I was a debater. I was a morale booster. We used to call those people boats. So I used to be involved. You could not win any prefect position on these three positions: head prefect, entertainment prefect, food prefect. Those three, I used to be the chief campaigning agent. I used to be the chief campaigning agent for the head prefect, such that you can't touch me. I used to be the chief campaigning agent for the entertainment prefect, such that I enter for free, because in Gombe, we used to have entertainment every weekend. So if I am your if campaign agent and you're the prefect for entertainment, then I do not have to pay. And food, I do not have to line up. We used to have a very long line. So the idea, desire. Even when I went to SMAC, I used to entertain. I used to be on stage. Desire. That is what you need as the number one thing. The second thing, when you have the desire, now you do action. You realize that when they told him to walk, he left the boat and walked on water. Do some action. Be active. And most important, now while you're doing the action, don't get your eyes off the prize. The Bible is saying that when this guy was walking, he looked this side and saw waves, looked this side and saw the wind. Very many people, when they start out something, they have a shop, they want to sell things, people come and just demean, belittle all the products, and you just close shop. You want to be a teacher on this life, and you want to teach people. You will start when you do not have a single person viewing your life. But people, when they come and it's only one person, 2 people, 3 people, they just give up. Or when people come and they are abusing them fully, they just give up. My first live, you go and check, my first live was in 2017. How many people were on? The first live had like 9 people. But do you know that 9 years later, when I do a live, when I finish the live, TikTok tells me 12,000 people have been watching live. 12,000. That's a whole constituency. A person who started with 16. So the action comes, you do not get the eyes off the action, but consistency. I did lives every Saturday at 5 p.m. Facebook Live every Saturday at 5 p.m. They became renowned classes. People were not missing. And you know the outcome. No one has more teaching material on money. No one in this country has more teaching material on money than I do. Because I run it consistently every week at 5, every week at 5. Now people view videos which I did 6 years ago, and I think the people that make me laugh the most are people who watch my videos I did 7 years ago, probably when I was charging 100,000 per hour, and they say, I want to book an appointment. And you tell them currently an appointment is 600,000 an hour. And they're like, but in the video you're saying 100,000. And I tell them, go check go check that live, it's old. So it's 2300 hours. It's 2300 hours. Now I think I can invite people. I invite you. You will be respectful. You will ask a question. I will give an answer, but you make sure you elaborate. So I think when you make a request, I will invite you. When you make a request, I'll invite you to ask a question. Newton Buteraba, House of Wealth. Newton Buteraba, House of Wealth. Le professeur, the teacher of teachers. Okay, let me invite Infinity. When Infinity comes, they will ask a question. You send an invite as a guest. Street Life by Afro. I've also sent an invitation. Hello.
Hello, Mr.
Hello. How are
Thank
you?
you for accepting.
How are you, Mr. Chimuli?
I'm okay, sir.
Can you increase your volume, please?
I am okay, sir.
Okay, great. So go ahead and ask your question.
So I have a question. I'm a developer and I have very many tools I developed,
Okay.
but I don't have confidence to meet my customers
Okay.
and present what I have. Though I have confidence in what I built, because I take my time to make sure that whatever I bring is at least a good thing. It's a good product.
Okay. So you have confidence to build the good products.
Yes, and I have some of them
Okay.
built already waiting for customers. But the confidence to meet these people, I really fear talking to people. That is it.
How many products have you developed so far?
So I have tools that I've developed. For example, I have school management systems. I have point of sale systems. I have some software systems that these are dealing with devices like repairs for phones.
Okay.
I have such systems.
Okay. Now,
But
what you have mentioned is something we find in Exodus. Let me first locate you such that I guide you on what you're going to do. So in Exodus 4:10, God had chosen Moses to go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites. But I want you to listen to what Moses told God. Then Exodus chapter 4 verse 10. Then Moses said to the Lord, "Oh, my Lord, I'm not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." So the Lord said to him, "Who has made man's mouth? Or who makes the mute, the deaf, the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore, go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall say." But he said, "O my Lord, please send by the hand of whomever else you may send." So the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, "Is not Aaron a Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well. And look, he is not coming out to meet you. When he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. Now you shall speak to him and put the words in his mouth, and I will be with your mouth and with his mouth, and I will teach you what you shall do. So he shall be your spokesman to the people." Mwami Chimuli, have you had your answer?
Yes.
So when you cannot speak, okay, when you cannot speak, God has seen you as a Moses, and he has created a lot of marketers with the name Aaron. So if you cannot speak, then you will have to get your words from your mouth to the words of a person you will hire as a marketer, such that the person who is your marketer would be the one to talk to the clients. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So this is a lesson to you that God gave you a chance to be a very great developer, but you can't be everything. So you need to bring people on your team as a serious solution to this. So what you do, you make some kamane, you make some kamane, you make some kamane, you make some kamane, and then you put out an advert and you say, "Guys, I'm looking for a person who is a salesperson for software. I will teach you how the software works, and you'll be the one to go and speak." Are you getting it?
Yes.
I've ever had, there is a group of, there is also a friend of mine who was very good at developing software. And that software he was developing, he wanted to sell to a very big company. But during that time, I had just come from Britain, from the UK, and he told me, "You man, I need you to come and speak all the English in the boardroom." And I was like, "That is why I'm here." I put on a suit, I put on a tie. He taught me very well the software. I learned the software. I went to the boardroom. You would think I'm a developer. I think it also came because part of my background was IT and security. And here I am full of confidence.
Cybersecurity.
Exactly. So I will ask you again before I release you, Mr. Chimoli. Your products, are they accessible? I think there was someone also who asked.
Yes.
How can Coach Samuel was asking, how can we access your products?
Yeah, I have a site
Okay.
where I put them.
Okay.
So there are many of them, so people can go there and have demos
Okay.
to test.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you read out the site, because I want people to also, I want you to use this as your platform to market. So can you direct us to the site?
The site is Pwezakoa, ZACORE.com. Even if you search on Google,
Okay, let me first put it in here. Pweza Core.
Yes.
Pweza Core website designer in Kampala.
Yes.
Okay. How to make octopus, Pweza. So you have, I see Swahili. Pweza wa kukanga.
There is the site, pwezacore.com. It's the site.
Okay. I've seen it. I've seen it. Where they say that you are in Machi, India.
Yes.
So free school management with Pweza Core, right?
Yes.
Okay. You have a school management system. What else?
I have a school management system. I have another system that I would not like to talk about it here.
Okay.
But maybe I can talk about it when I get your number. I would like to talk to you.
Okay.
Privately.
Okay, no worries. My number is in my bio.
That system. I'd like to talk about it with you.
No worries.
Because I can't talk about it in the public.
No worries. Do you have where to write? My number is in the bio.
Yes, I have where to write.
Okay. 0706 582 868. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. So
I'll text.
Okay. I'll be happy to hear from you, Mr. Chimuli. Thank you very much. I think you can join the live. I'm bringing on someone else. Okay. All right. My learned friend.
Yes, Prof. Good evening.
How are you, Imran?
I am okay. I thank you so much for this opportunity. I have, it's like a question.
Okay.
I think I've ever asked it to you 2 years ago.
Okay.
There is, I told you about this calling that I have of grooming young leaders, particularly student leaders.
Okay.
And in that arena, yes, I have visited over 100 schools across the country. But until now, I have failed to reach to the parents, whereby when a parent is sending his child to school, one of the requirements, as you need sugar, I need a student should also have a book called The 6 Chapters, because I have seen it making wonders for students who have been able to penetrate the student leadership. So yes, I have made it public. I've tried to look at going to libraries, going to schools, but I've failed to break through.
Okay.
So this book, this book is I wrote it particularly from my experience as a student leader during my secondary and university. So the successes, because I've been a student leader throughout, and it has changed my life fundamentally. Being a leader in school is a turning point. So this is what I want to pass on to the generation. How can I make it possible?
All right. First of all, I would say that in this country, we do not have a culture of reading. So all people who are trying to break through anything and it's connected to reading, it is a problem. However, we have a culture of visualizing. We want to watch movies, we want to watch football, we want to learn by seeing. I think if the approach of schools and going there has so far not yielded results, how about if I wonder whether these people know Imran, the one who connected me to go and give a speech to a university. But I continue to thank you for that. But I want you to look at the process on how you took me to Nkumba University to give a speech. Did you read any of my books?
I'm not aware that you are even an author.
You get the idea. But how did you select me and recommend me to a full university to go and give a commencement lecture? How did you?
Because I have an experience with you.
Uh-huh.
We have rubbed shoulders in a number of events, and I have tested what you can do in halls.
Exactly. You know? So you're going to change.
I highly.
So you're going to change your business model. If you're a student leader, then start by having a model where you position yourself as a speaker for leaders, as a person who teaches leadership, as a person who is everything leadership. Now the schools themselves will call you. When they call you, you will sell from there. They will, when they call you, when they are the ones to call you and you're not the ones to go to them to ask them to call you. Do you see the difference? So I feel that yes, you have now to go full throttle and build a brand and build the name as the champion of leadership. When you build, now you see I've built a name as a champion of finance and business. But I've not put out a book. But if you read these comments, people are saying, do you have any book? Do you have any book we can buy? You get the idea. Now, if I wrote a book today, do you know how many people can buy? If I wrote a book today, after positioning myself as a speaker of choice in the country, because if you look at my profile, every big organization, NSSF, banks, what, Globetrotters, USSID, European Union, US Embassy, British High Commission, or if you are big, you have invited me. Whether university, whether NGO, you have invited. Now you imagine if I wrote a book. I will have paved the way. Exactly. Because I have paved the way for the book. So you need to know that sometimes we will have to pave way for our works. Many times we might not be so gifted that our works pave our way. Sometimes we have to first pave way for our works. Now, I want to hear you doing, engaging in these courses that teach leadership. You've heard of Coursera?
Yes.
Look,
and I have done. I have done some of the courses.
Yes. Have you done any course from Harvard? Any course from University of London? You look out for a top-notch university on Coursera and do something for their leadership. such that you get certified in that. Now you grow the brand.
I've done leadership with the university, with Atlas Network from the United States, and it was a value addition.
True, but I think you get what I'm saying. What I want you to do, Imran,
yes,
I want you to now be the voice of leadership. I've just been called. I've just been called today. I wonder how you. I've just been called today to go and teach leadership. Let me see when I want you. I want you to look at your week and you go with me, Imran. Let's talk inbox. I've just been called to teach leadership somewhere, but I want you to be in that space when I'm teaching leadership, such that you also start taking off.
Thank you.
All right. So you will inbox me. Yeah, we will talk more about it. I want to thank you very much. I want now to call someone else such that they also ask. Who else? Let me hear from. I want someone to make a request such that they can ask. Sorita Nachiganda. Okay. So Coach Samuel has mentioned that personal brands attract instead of chasing. Yeah, Coach Samuel is right. The world is turning digital, so people are getting totally away from hard copies to social interaction. It will be massive sales. Yes, Isaac, you've mentioned it. Branding surely matter even when it comes to business. Videos are powerful. You can indeed turn chapters in a podcast. So I think I like it that people, very many intelligent people have actually weighed in. Let him do some podcasts. Japheth has mentioned. Imran, you can be a great speaker. Love you, Uganda. This guy is heaven sent. How does one get to read without getting bored? Very interesting question. How does one get read? How does one get to read without getting bored? You start by reading in things that interest you. Things that interest you. Very many people are also like me. Even though I've read a lot, even though I do the law and we have to read a lot of cases, we all know that there is that struggle to read. So I usually start by, personally, I love commercial law. So I started by reading cases which are to do with business and money involved. Those are the cases that help me appreciate the law. I never wanted to be a criminal lawyer. So if I had started with reading criminal cases, I would have never enjoyed the law. But because I want to be a commercial lawyer, so I started with reading cases which are into company law, business law, contract law, insurance law, intellectual property law, land law, things that interest me. So ZF Unstoppable Official, did she send an invite? How come I can't see her? Let me see. How come I can't see her? Okay. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. So how are you?
Great. Do you have a business?
I'm a sole personnel
Okay. For which company?
and BF Suma.
Hey, BF Suma. BF Suma. They are my clients.
You left us yearning and promised us to come back.
Hey, yes. I love them. How is Samson?
Samson is fine.
Hey, I love BF. I remember BF Suma gave me work to do when I was still at LDC. but because of studies, I couldn't really make it for that talk, which was in Ginger. I felt so bad because I thought I would be leaving Kampala by midday, but the work at LDC was too much that I finished by 5 p.m. I couldn't come. I felt so bad, yet BF Suma had already paid. So, do you have a question for me?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
My question is, how can I make those constant sales, daily sales that are constant?
Okay.
It's where I'm finding it hard, or yeah.
So, you see,
And also on the side of the, I'm a team leader,
okay.
and also finding okay, also team retention. It's also my problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you realize that there are things you consume on a daily?
Yes.
Let's try to see. You consume data bundles, you use water on a daily, you use power on a daily, you transport yourself on a daily.
Yes.
So I want you to notice that the things that give us money on a daily, the things that are easier to sell on a daily, are things which humans use on a daily. So human beings buy fuel on a daily, use electricity on a daily, buy airtime on a daily, use data bundle on a daily, buy food on a daily, use transport on a daily, buy firewood, buy charcoal on a daily. So even in your product line, you must look for a product which will be useful to a person on a daily. If you struggle to find a product that is consumed on a daily, then it means you must grow to have a wider network that is more than 365 customers. If you have more than 365 customers in your network, it means you have increased your chance that if someone doesn't buy today, another buys tomorrow, another buys the other day, another buys the other day, another buys the other day. So you widen the market with a product which they tend to consume regularly, and then you'll have daily sales. But when your product is not among the items they consume on a daily, imagine selling radios. People do not buy radios on a daily. 11 viewers are requesting. People are not buying radios on a daily. If people are not buying things on a daily, then it means you will struggle yourself to sell it on a daily. The tweak, or one of the ways to handle it, is to grow a wide market such that when they are requesting for the product, it looks as if they're requesting for it on a daily. So, market outreach. The other thing is, you've talked about retention. So, one of the ways to retain people in a team is you will have to be a nice person. They did research and found out that people who leave companies don't leave companies. Most people leave companies not because of pay, not because of the work being so much, but most people leave their jobs because of the person they report to. So if people report to a boss who abuses them, who is not empathetic, who doesn't get into their shoes to feel for them and feel sorry for them, who doesn't appreciate, who doesn't say thank you, who doesn't train them, who doesn't improve them, who is envious of things, who backbites them, who belittles them, they leave. So one of the ways to retain people in any team is to first of all be nice as a person. If you follow football, you realize that players, however good they are, they leave the club if the coach does not select them, does not improve them, criticizes them publicly. So to retain your team, go into a habit of trying to understand them. They reach late, you ask them, what happened? You are not always like that. Why did you reach late today? Oh, okay. It was raining. Oh, okay. Next time, let's improve. When you want to criticize them, you first tell them 3 good things they have done before you criticize. You say, by the way, I want to thank you for reaching early today. I want to thank you for hitting the targets for sale today. And I also want to thank you for the ideas you've brought today. But on top of these good things, there is one bad thing I see that is trying to come with you, which will lower your greatness. I did not like the way you replied that customer when we were selling to so and so. The way you replied, I think you were harsh to the customer. That way, and make sure when you're trying to improve or criticize, you do not criticize in public. The number one rule is you praise in public, you criticize in isolation. Take the employee, take the team person away. I would add that she has to understand why the team members work for the company. That's that, Coach Samuel. That is really great. So the idea is you praise in public, criticize in isolation, but get to understand. Try to get to understand your team. So I would like to thank you. I'm going to bring on somebody else such that I also get their question and answer. HK Hyper. Hello. I think I brought in someone who wasn't. I brought in someone. Is it worth buying a 27 million plot of land in Chiwenda along Gayaza Road? It depends on dot for dot. Aquatempola. Snow Vega requested to join. Let me hear what he has to say. Snow Vega. So keep sharing, keep double tapping as I wait for people who have requested. I'm trying to accept for people, but I think the friends on YouTube, Sebinene Moses, can I grow wealth by buying a bond of 100K per month? You people, 100K per month. 100K per month. Where do I find that? Here. Accept. Love Uganda. Accept Mahad. Accept Mahad. Accept. Who else is there? Accept. So I'm accepting all the people such that I will be asking you, I will be listening to you individually. Just hold on as I accept people. Proverbs. Okay. So I'm going to start with Proverbs, and as Proverbs is asking, the rest of us, let's mute, please. So, Love Uganda, please mute. Abedike, please mute. Mato, please mute. Abed, please mute. And Love Uganda also, please mute. Love Uganda, please mute. I've asked you to please mute. So, Proverbs, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Professor Sibyotya Nosebo.
Bulungi Sebo Sibyotya.
Kakati mbadde n'ekibuuzo kyange era mbadde ninda eno live nagirinda kuva wiiki eri.
Esebo.
Nga njagala kubuuza kibuuzo kyange. Ekibuuzo kye mbuuza nti bwe mwasomesawo ku nsonga ya will okulaama. Kati nayina ekibuuzo gundi nagiraba oluvannyuma nina page awo y'omwami gye nalabako programu yonna nezimalayo naye nina ekintu kyesaafuna nga njagala kitegeera nga mbuuza nti bwe mba nga nkoze ekiraamo nenteekamu ebyobugagga byange byonna era nembigabira awo bema bigabidde naye then oluvannyuma nennyongerako ku byobugagga bye mba nnina.
Twasomesa ku olwo
kati
malayo
ebibuuzo kyembuuza kiri two websites. Nti bwe mba nga nyongeddeko ebyobugagga ebyo ng'olwedde nakola dde ekiraamo kiki kyenyinza okuzzaako oba n'ekirala bwe mba nga nayongerako ebyobugagga neefa nga ate byose bitadde mu kiraamo. To enlighten me.
All right. So I'm going to repeat your question in English for all the friends who might not be understanding the language.
It's fine, sir. It's fine.
So he's asking that if he has made a will and then he adds on his wealth or he buys more property, then what happens? So what usually happens is when you write a will, it's not written in stone. Bw'owandiika ekiraamo tekiwandiikibwa ku jjinja. So osobola owandiika ekiraamo n'ogula ebyobugagga ebirala n'oyita looyawo n'oyita ne be twayita ba testator who are the witnesses n'owandiika ekiraamo ekirala n'ogamba nti kino ekiraamo leero kyempandiise nga 2 Maachi 26 kimenyeewo ekiraamo kye nawandiika nga 2 Ogw'omukaaga 2022 era bino bye bintu byange bye nnina era mbigabye bwe nti in the new will you can even remove property you had already given. So the thing is you can write a new will and get new witnesses for the new will, or old witnesses are available, you can use them, but you have to make sure that the way it starts by saying this is my new will and it should cancel what I have written before. Or we say that there is another document in law which is recognized, is called a codicil, which can be written to make a few changes in the old will. So when you die, they get that document called the codicil and they realize, hey, he has this, he has this, he has this, he has this. Then they read it plus the other will which you wrote and they consider. Nayo in nature yachobuziza, what would happen if I buy more property and it is not in the will,
yes,
and I die?
Yes.
So what happens is,
yes,
when you have property that you have bought and it has not been written in the will, then it means the way they deal with that property will be by letters of administration. And the way they deal with the property in the will be by a grant of probate. So the family will sit and they will choose people who will administer your estate. Then they will go to the administrator general and they will tell the administrator general, we as the family, we have chosen these two people to be the administrator. So you will find that if you died with land in Kololo and that land is in the will, then that land will, the executor will give it away according to the will.
Yes, yes.
And then this land or property you bought, which you did not write in the will be now given to the administrators who will give out the property. Okay. I would like to thank you very much.
Okay.
Does it make
Thank
sense?
Thank you so much. I'm really very well.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very well.
Thank you very much. So
Yes.
let me, I'm going to disconnect you such that I want to hear from Mato.
It's fine, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Mato, please unmute and ask a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Newton Buteraba.
How are you, sir? Where are you?
I'm okay, sir. Kale. Ase omadde mbuuza nti omuntu ki ali recommended okubeera nga savinga ne NSSF era ddala abantu basobola okusavinga ne NSSF.
Nakola akalango kalamba omwaka oguwedde. Wakalabako akalango ke nakola ku NSSF yakasaayo ku gundi. Yakasaayo ku wakalaba
Nakalaba. Nakalabako.
Kati NSSF erina abantu abasavinga ba mirundi ebiri.
Yes, sir.
Waliwo abasavinga olw'etteeka kuba libalagira kuba kasita obeera ng'olina kampani mu Uganda etteeka likukakatako okuterekera abakozi bo ssente mu NSSF.
Okay.
Era bw'oba tokikoze NSSF ekuwandiikira eyinza n'okuggalawo kampani yo.
Okay.
Ekubanja n'ekukuba ne fayini n'emisoso mingi. Kubanga etteeka ligamba kasita oggulawo kampani mu Uganda omukozi yenna gw'okozesa mu kampani eyo okwata omusaala gwe n'ogutemako 10% ya NSSF ate naawe nga boss n'obala 5% y'omusaala n'ogiweereza mu NSSF.
Okay.
So bw'oba bakuwa akakadde kamu NSSF erina osigazaako emitwalo 10 which is 10%. Ate nayo nereeta nayo NSSF boss wo akwata emitwalo 10 n'agiwa NSSF ku kakaddeko ate naye boss neyeekuba endobo neyejjamu emitwalo 5 5% of akakadde gye emitwalo 5 so n'akuweerayo sente ziri kuyamba ng'olekedde awo oritayarinze n'abeera ng'awa emitwalo 15 buli mwezi.
Okay.
Naye ate NSSF erina enkola endala ey'okusevinga eya kyeyagalire.
Okay.
Nga bw'olaba Smart Life gye baleeta ng'abantu bateekayo akasente naye nasomesa nti sente ezo bw'ozissaayo zitwala omwaka mulamba.
Okay.
So otereka n'ekiruubirirwa ne weewa omwaka mulamba such that wali ozijjayo. Kati ezo z'otereseeyo ku kyeyagalire omwaka bwe guggwako ng'ozisaba. Naye ziri ze bakaka boosi wo okuteekayo ezo zo zirinze ng'okuze myaka 45 55.
Okay.
Sikuzaako mukono.
Omaliriza bulungi sebo neyanza.
Kale Mukama akuuma akawongeza akalungi.
Neyanza sebo.
Njagala kuwulira Triple J.
Yes.
How are you?
Good evening.
How are
Yes,
you?
sir. I'm okay.
Nice to hear from you.
Thank you. Nice to hear from you. I've been online
Okay.
listening to such a good advices you're giving to us. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So now, Professor, my request is personally, I'm a health worker.
Okay.
The gift shop is a sided hustle.
Okay.
Yeah, I opened up something. There's something I'm doing, but it is distanced.
Okay.
Yeah, monitoring it is a bit hard because I use transport of around 50k too. And that's around 50k to and 50k from. That's 100.
100K to go and monitor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whereby I'm still working in a certain hospital. I'm just trying to build something beside the employment I'm working in.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you, where you're using transport of 50K to go to this gift shop?
No, to go to a clinic. It's a clinic. The gift shop is within.
Okay. So what did you said you're a health worker?
Yeah. And then this gift shop is just a side hustle.
Okay, okay. So what did you set up that requires you to spend a lot in transport?
It's a clinic.
Eh. So the question usually is, how often do you go to the clinic? You go there every when?
Every after a week. Every after 1 week I go there. That's on weekend when I'm free from work.
Okay. I think the question is simple. All you have to do is to check whether the clinic can pay for that expense.
Okay.
So if you go there every weekend, so it means every month you have 4 visits, which are 100,000 times 4, which is 400,000. So the question is going to be, does it make more money to be able to pay for your transport and also still run? The transport will be a problem if the business you're going to monitor cannot afford it, such that you're going to have to touch elsewhere to pay for your transport.
Yes.
You get. But the moment you have to keep records. Make sure you keep records so well that you can tell make sure you keep records such that you can tell whether the business is making a profit or not. The other thing, this clinic you started has how many people so far?
I have a nurse there and a lab guy.
Okay, so the lab guy tests someone who is sick and hands off a nurse to administer medication.
Yeah.
So for you, when you go there, what usually takes you there?
Actually, I go there for monitoring and to see whether things are moving on.
Okay.
Because the other day, I'm working somewhere.
Now, there is something you're going to start thinking about investing in. As you make money, start thinking systems.
Okay.
So the way systems operate is that people can now have what we call IP cameras. And they can install IP cameras in a place, and they pay internet, and the camera taps into the internet and sends the whole entire place on your phone.
Yeah, true.
Where you can,
that's what I was thinking.
Exactly, where you can see that this person, they have taken blood sample from them, and you can check and see that today the lab attendant worked on 5 people. Today the lab attendant worked on this, and now you systemize where you ask them that, for example, you create a WhatsApp group and you say, before you work on this person, you send, after you work on that person, you send a WhatsApp picture to the phone such that I can know what you've worked on as a lab attendant.
Okay.
So there you can monitor that the lab attendant at least worked on this, worked on this, worked on this, worked on this. So you know the number of people and you know the kind of maybe ailments he has mentioned. Then you also try to create a system where you follow up. So as the business grows, it means you will need another person who will start by being there as your eyes. You get? People use cashiers where a person is there as a cashier and he is the one to receive any money. So
is that person need your relative? Or you just employ someone for that purpose?
Usually people use relatives because a relative abera kukwatibwa ensonyi, they find it easier to deal with them, but the key issue is even the relative must pass the interview of what is to be done. But the idea is that you put there a person to now be managing and monitoring. For example, we must have a system that says the nurse doesn't touch money, the lab attendant doesn't touch money. So the lab attendant, the system just works by saying that the lab attendant, for him, he says, today I've worked on this person, malaria, this one is of bilharzia, this one is of prostate. For him, he gives a report of what he has tested. So we know the amount of money from his report. Also, the nurse gives a report of what she has worked on. We know the amount of money from the lab. We know the amount of money from the nurse. You get? Then, when this person we've sent as a manager to handle the money declares the cash should match what we expect from the lab and what we expect from the nurse. So that is a simple system before we even go into cameras.
Yeah.
But usually, people beat that system when those 3 now connive. That's why you've worked in businesses and you find people fighting each other. When people fight each other, it's only the boss that benefits. When people are fighting each other in a business, it works for the boss. But when people are so happy in the business, they connive. So it needs to be someone there who they will be working against this person you've brought, such that they report correctly, such that they showcase that is the one who is not reporting well. That person will also be trying to say, I saw 7 people in the lab. Why are they giving you that they saw only 5? You get? So management of that system, which involves people, means it's one of the ways to start as you start to grow it. I hope that really helps.
Yeah, it has really helped.
All right, so Triple J, I'm going to say bye to you. I'm now listening to Abed, and I'll finish with Mahad today. So Abed, can you ask your question, please?
Oh, Professor Newton Buteraba.
Yes, sir.
I'm Abed K from Jinja.
Okay.
The only advice I wanted from my professor is that I'm dealing in fish farming. That's a cage fish farming.
Cage fish farming, yes.
Cage fish farming. I wanted to get a vehicle on loan.
Okay.
After selling my fish, after selling my fish, that I got a car on loan, a vehicle on loan. After depositing like after depositing like 10 million, it could be advisable to go to the bank or to go to these car dealers.
Okay. Question is, what do you want the car for?
Car for Uber.
You want to do a car for Uber? Will you be the one driving the Uber?
Of course.
Okay. So if you will be the one to drive the car, it's usually good that you go for the bond, because the car from the bond won't have any interest. It will be you and the negotiation on how to pay off the car in installments. But the question also is, how much do you expect to buy the car?
Like 20 million.
Okay, and you have how much?
20. I have 10 million as deposit.
As
initial deposit.
Okay. Now you can negotiate. You can negotiate well with the car bond such that how many months can they give you? Can they give you 6 months? Surely. How about if you?
I saw that they can give me like.
What did they say?
I saw that they could even give out a car, for example, 1 year.
If they can give you 1 year, two things you have to know: whether they are giving you a good deal on that car. Because if they allow you to pay for it in 1 year, go and ask around how much that car would cost if you paid cash. You could find that they will give you 1 year to pay for the car, but the amount you've paid is like 30 million. Yet, if you had 22 million cash, you would buy your own car. Which would mean that I would advise you that if you got the 10, you can try to do more sales such that you have 15 million and you buy a car when you do not have to delay to finish it off. Because when you delay to finish it off, they will increase its price. You get?
I'm getting.
I hope I've answered your question.
Another thing I wanted to confirm from you is teach us more about risk management.
Okay. I'll teach next Sunday. I'll give you a chance to answer. I'll give you a chance. I'll discuss a little about risk management, and I'll be able to share more on risk management. Though I've already talked about risk management in all my other my teachings, but you do not have to worry.
I tried to look for it, but it was not to be seen.
Okay. All right. All the best, Abed. We'll keep in touch.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm now going to get you off and call Mahad. Mahad, can you hear me?
Yes, Professor. How are you?
Fine. How are you, sir?
Good.
Kindly ask your question.
Actually, I have two questions, but I would like to first thank you for the teachings.
Okay.
I really appreciate your work, and I make sure that I at least watch 2 to 3 videos every week. And I think in next 10 years, I will be the next Newton.
That's really good. You'll be better than me. I usually tell people they will be better than me. I'll be the legend, but they will be better
I have
than
2
me.
questions.
Okay, let me hear your question.
Yes, because I love this saying of yours where you say that oli musomesa w'abasomesa abanasomesa abasomesa abalisomesa abasomesa abanasomesa abasomesa. So I'm one of them.
Yes, thank you very much.
My first question is, I have a friend who told me that actually, if becoming wealth is very hard,
Okay.
why should we struggle too much to become wealthy? And I will start with the definition that you gave in a video that I watched, I think, last year.
Okay.
You say that wealth consists of 5 things. You said enterprise, effort, equity,
Currency.
assets, and experience. Was currency or experience?
Okay, I gave a definition from Jim Rohn, and I said that when you have enterprise plus effort, it should give you currency plus equity. That's the definition.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the definition.
Yes.
But again, you were on a certain TV. I think it was NTV or BBS. I don't remember the TV exactly. But you say that wealth is not a number. It's the power to say no, the space to breathe, time to create, reset, explore, and love. So it was like you were meaning that it is not all about what you have, the number of money you have.
Okay.
Because people outside there have a lot of money.
Okay.
But if you say it so, why do you again came back on these videos that you make and you say that if you want to become wealthy, don't think about wealth if you're not ready for the war. And you even made a podcast which was saying money wars and battles. So that's my first question.
So your first question, I want you to bring it again. You're saying, why did I have to make a podcast about money war? Why did I have to say wealth is a war?
No, let me repeat it. Let me repeat it.
Okay.
Let me repeat it. You said that money, wealth consists of enterprise, effort, equity, currency, and assets.
Yes.
Then you came back on a TV and you said wealth is not about the number. It's about the power to say no, the space to breathe, and time to create and explore plus love. Now you came back on a podcast and you say that if you're not ready to become wealthy, if you're not ready for the war, don't come and you say that you want to become wealthy. You brought a podcast that was saying money wars and battles.
Okay.
So it was like you were saying that becoming wealthy is, you can become wealthy if you want. But why do you come back and say if you're not ready for the wars, don't come?
Okay. All right. Can you see me very well?
Yes.
What is this I'm holding?
It is, I think, a S24 Ultra. S25 Ultra.
Okay. So you call it a phone, not so?
Yes, a phone.
Do you know that it's also called a gadget? Is it also called a gadget?
I think that's... Yes.
Is it also called a device?
Yes.
Did you know that at law, this is also called a computer?
Not really.
It's a computer. In the definition, if you read the Computer Misuse Act and all that, you can use a phone as a computer.
Okay.
Do you know that in financial terms, if you hold it, someone can call it an asset? The point I'm trying to
mixed up now.
The point I'm trying to build is we can have,
but that is a depreciating asset,
which is okay. But what I wanted to let you know is it has very many names. It's like you're called Mahad. Okay. You are a student, you are a son, but to some people you are a grandson, to others you are a friend, to others you are a teacher, but it's you, the Mahad.
Yes.
So when I'm talking about money, I'm multi-dimensional when I'm discussing money. So I might come and define money. Then another day and I talk about how to get the money, how to grow the money, how to be with the money, how to keep the money. Do you get it?
I get it.
So when I came in a podcast, I usually tell people when you want the definition of money, I use Jim Rohn's definition where I said that you get an enterprise, which is a business, and put in effort. When you get an enterprise like a shop, even if it's a car of Uber, if it's an enterprise, your business, and you put in effort. What is effort? You put in time, you put in research, you put in advice, you put in marketing, you put in the effort. Automatically, that enterprise plus effort should give you currency, which is money, and the equity, which is shareholding. So that was his definition. But now get to know that I cannot just teach that you will get currency, which is money, without letting you know how to keep it. That's why I come and tell you that when you're dealing with wealth, it is a war. Because the moment you acquire that wealth, the government wants it by sending its revenue authority to you. Your relatives want it. Thieves want it. Your spouse and children want it. So it is like you're fighting all these people to have something that stays. That's why I was telling you that if you're not ready for war, you leave things of wealth. It is not enough for you to wake up Mahad and you have 1 billion in your house. A cleaner will be cleaning your bedroom and finds money in the bedroom. They will run away with it. Revenue authority will come and say, you bought a brand new car. Can you tell us your income? Can you show us your income tax? How you've been earning income such that you've reserved this money to buy this building or this car? Is it now making sense?
Yes.
So when you hear me bringing a lesson, it does not mean that I'm trying to throw away what I created before in the content. Everything I bring comes to add. That's why you see all my lessons, I taught about the things that can help people stay with money. And I went ahead to discuss things like gratitude, risk management, money wars and battles. All those are to help you stay with the wealth, because I am House of Wealth. All right, friends, it's been a very good time.
No, the last question,
okay,
please.
Okay.
The last question is, I found one video
okay
of a financial advisor.
Okay.
And he was saying that there are characteristics of an investment. And he said there are 5.
Okay.
Then he said that one is the ability to beat inflation.
Uh-huh.
The second one is risk.
Uh-huh.
The third one is return.
Uh-huh.
And the fourth one is liquidity.
Uh-huh.
Then he said that land is not an investment because when we try to look at these characteristics of an investment, land does not fall in what we call liquidity part or the characteristic of liquidity. Yeah. So what do you think about that view?
Okay, let's hear his views. The very first one of an investment, he said it must be what? Beats inflation.
Beat inflation.
Land always beats inflation. Did you know that? Actually, we usually use real estate to beat inflation. Number 2.
Risk.
So land usually is high risk in buying, but the higher the risk in buying, the higher the return or the reward. So land has that element of risk. There are very many people who buy air. But if you get the nice people, like for example, when I'm buying land, I have a valuer, I have a surveyor, I have a lawyer, I have a tax consultant, I have me, I have brokers. So I lower the risk by bringing knowledge on the table. So land has that element of risk that if you're not organized with your people, you would lose. Which other characteristic?
The third one is return.
Return. Land. I think you will struggle so hard to find things that usually have returns like land. Imagine the people who bought land in Hoima, and then they told them that they want to pass there the pipe for oil. Do you know how much compensation they are getting? The return is in the skies. Imagine I bought land on Nakauka Road and I sold land to some people. When I sold it, they recently called me that the government is trying to recompense them, compensating them because they want to pass the road into their plot. So the return is there. I bought land with very many investment clubs, but there is land we bought in Wachiso Jimbo at 13 million in 2019. And today plot is 35 million. So when we talk returns, land will bring returns. I think this is what we need to understand from the message he was trying to say. I think
the fourth one is talking about the fourth one, which is liquidity.
Yes. So
he's saying that just because it lacks liquidity, it is not considered as an investment on his side.
No.
As he explains.
Okay, let me try to. I think the mistake we make as teachers of money is to try to put the teaching in stone. These teachings should be dependent on the circumstances and the situations where people are. Land, the way land was designed to keep money because it is illiquid. Are we together?
Yes.
When you buy a plot of land and you buy it 100 million and you look for a Ugandan to 150 million, you can look for 3 years when you haven't found a person to give you 150 million. What has the land done? It has held on to the money because you failed to find a buyer. But we cannot sit down and blame alcohol for making people drunk. Mahad, would you blame alcohol for making people drunk? Alcohol was designed to make people drunk. So we cannot blame it for making people drunk. It is like blaming the sun for burning you. yet the creator of the sun wanted it to send heat. Can you blame ice for being cold?
No.
You can't blame ice for being cold because ice by design, it is cold. So land by design will help you hold on to any money you put in because it is illiquid. Its buying requires a whole committee of brains to acquire. It's selling.
But he elaborated that around 2018, he bought land like at 2 million. Later on, after like 7-8 years, he thought of selling it, but no one was available to buy that land.
But that's what I've
They
been.
were giving.
But that's what I've been explaining to you. That land, the factors we use when buying land are location, location, location. You do not just buy land because you've bought land. The question is, where have you bought the land? How long have you followed me, Mahad?
I first saw your first video, I think, around 2018. But to put more emphasis, I think last year.
Okay. Now, have you had me sell land to people?
Yes.
So, have you ever had me come on a live and complain that I tried to sell and they didn't buy? Have you ever heard of it?
Not really.
Exactly. So, when you're picking a message from an individual, you must be very, very keen and you measure your circumstance. What is an investment? An investment is something we put in money and we expect a return. Have people put money in land and got a return? Yes. Have people put in money in land and failed to get money back? Yes. There are those who invested in land and they did not get what they expected, but then there are also those who invested and got what they expected. So the idea is when you're going into land, you ask yourself, do I have an advisor? You get, do I have an advisor such that I buy good, such that I am ahead of the inflation and I also expect a return? Think about a place like Chanja here. Everyone is setting up an apartment in Chanja because a one-bedroom in Chanja is 1 million for rental. So a person who buys land today in Chanja, either they will sell it at a profit, or when they set up an apartment, they will be ready to get tenants. It is so different from someone who goes and buys land somewhere very far away where people have not even started building yet. I hope that tries to answer you that the answers we give or the message people give, you need to read. When you read or when you listen, you try to weigh and understand what they are saying. Because when you say we do not invest in land, I invest in land. I invest in land, I invest in unit trusts. You cannot tell someone to invest only in one thing. When I've read for you, let me read for you something to close the day, because I know very many people are watching. Ecclesiastes 11:2. Ecclesiastes 11:2. So Ecclesiastes 11:2 is saying, give a serving to 7. Give me the other Bible app. Give a serving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on planet Earth. But let me read it in the good news, because that one might not bring it out as I want it for you to learn it. So Ecclesiastes 11:2. I want you to listen. Can you hear me very well, Mahad?
Yes.
I want you to listen. They say, invest your money in several places, many places, in fact, because you never know what kind of bad luck you are going to have in this world. So the moment you hear someone telling you to invest in one thing, you do not know what bad luck is going to happen. You cannot invest only in your business. Imagine people who invested in schools and COVID said no studies. Imagine people who invested only in borders and during lockdown they said no transport, no borders. You get the idea. So,
Yes.
those who invest, they are saying invest in 7 or 8. So before you throw out any other venture, ask yourself, have I reached 7? Have I reached 8? So some of us who put money in land, in buildings, in a business, in unit trusts, in shares, we do not complain on where to invest. But when you come and start telling people, do not put in land, do not put in land, you put in this, you do not know. I already read you a verse, Ecclesiastes 8:7. You do not know what will happen tomorrow. You will go and put money in poultry, and they tell you there is a disease that has attacked birds world over, and you put money in poultry. So you have to live a balanced life. Put some money in real estate, put some money in bonds, put some money in unit trust, put some money in business, put some money on the bank account. Make sure you have 7 or 8 ventures. I thank you, Mahad. Let me wish you a good night. I have to work tomorrow. I thank all the people who have made it today.
Thank you, Mr. Newton.
I thank all the people who have held on up to now. Please get to know that I have a master class on 11th April.
They don't come normalize.
11th April, I have a master class, and it will be in a hotel behind Ham Shopping Mall, Makere. The hotel is called Sarova Portico Hotel. So that's 11th April. Right now it's 100,000, but when we reach April and you've not paid, it will be 150. Now, I have also to tell you that I have land which I'm selling. I want you to be able to benefit from my ability to allow people to pay in installments, my ability to give you genuine land. So if you want land, 0706 582 868. 0706 582 868. When you come, you say, Professor, le professeur, I want land. I'm from TikTok. So I have land in like 3 estates somewhere in Matuga. In the first estate, land is at 20 million. The second estate, land is at 25 million. The third estate, land is at 30. So 20, 25, 30. That is if we go up to that part of Matuga. When we go on Hoima Road, I have for 18 and I have for 20 million. Hoima Road. So all the monies I've mentioned involve title transfers into your names. And finally, I also have land that has a lake view in a place called Buaya. That estate of mine, you can access it by water, by land, and by air. That's why I nicknamed it Mercedes Lakeview Estate. You know the Mercedes logo? The Mercedes logo has a star. The star is made of three roads, make a star, because Mercedes is following Genesis 1:27. What does Genesis 1:27 say? Let me see. Genesis 1:27. God said, so God created human beings, making them to be like himself. He created them male and female. He blessed them and said, Genesis 1:27, have many children so that your descendants will live all over the earth and bring it under their control. I'm putting you in charge of the sea, fish in the sea, birds in the air, and animals on land. So you see, Mercedes, the logo means they wanted to conquer the sea, conquer the air, conquer the land. So because my estate can be accessed by water from Nachiwogo, Lake Victoria to the land, or by land on Kasanje Road, or if you're wealthy, you can come by chopper. That's why I called it Mercedes. But also my daughter is called Mercedes. So you can buy that estate. When I was selling it last year, I think a plot was 40 million, but now a plot goes for 50 million because they are bringing tarmac and construction has started in the estate. So usually when I tell people to buy land and they do not buy, others who buy, they keep gaining. So I've told you, land in Matuga, 20, 25, 30. Land on Hoima Road, 18, 20. Land after Nachiwogo in Buwaya, Kasanje, the Lake View, 50 million. Newton, Buteraba, House of Wealth. May the good Lord bless you. Bye-bye.